All right, chat. I think the worst game that I've played in all of Pokemon. So let me put the ones I haven't played. I haven't played Sun and Moon. Respectfully, I haven't played Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. I can't find Moon in here. I haven't played those. Haven't touched them. I also haven't played Omega Sapphire or Omega Ruby. Haven't touched them. Everything else in here I have beaten or played briefly. The worst Pokemon game that I have played, to me, is Gen 6. Pokemon X and Y. I think they are trash. I think they look ugly. I think they're not fun to play. I think they're all in all bad products. And they're such a huge, massive step down than Gen 5, which I think was the best gen. Black and White. I think Pokemon Black and White, best game all time. It expanded upon everything that made Gen 4 amazing, while also having what I think is the best story of any Pokemon game. Now, some might think from that logic, Black and White 2 should be S as well. I don't agree. I would put those in A tier. I think they don't offer too much more than Black and White. It's just more of the same. So I want to give a special extra step to the one that made the foundation. This one, nothing's really different. It's just a slightly new Pokemon. And also the story was worse. So I didn't love it. The only thing they had that was kind of good, yeah, like, is hard mode, but I played Nuzlocke anyway, so I do a self-imposed hard mode, but I put Black and White 2 as A. I think the story is much worse than Black and White. Now, that doesn't mean that we're out of S tiers. I do think there is one more S tier game, and although they didn't necessarily have the same, additions as Black and White, I do think Pokemon Platinum is one of the best Pokemon games all time. You know, there's clear improvements from Diamond and Pearl. I think the ending section is fucking wild. I think the even, like, if I'm gonna do Ranbats, I prefer to play Gen 4. I think they had good balancing for the Pokemon themselves. I like Gen 4 Ranbats a lot. Diamond and Pearl, I do think, are a step below. I don't know if I have the tangible answers to say why they're a step below, but I do think, like, it's less complete than Platinum. Now, kind of a controversial take here. Normally, the third version of the game, right? So usually Pokemon games release with 2. Red and Blue, and then they release a third version, Yellow, and this has happened for every generation, you know, where they do that third mastered game that releases sometime later. I don't think Emerald is better than Ruby and Sapphire. I don't think it's better. I don't think it's worse. I just don't think it's better. I don't think it is. It is massively better. I think it is, in my opinion, equal. I think it's equal to Ruby. I've played a lot of Ruby. I've played Emerald a couple times. I think they're all in the same tier for me. Now, there's one exception to what I'm saying. The Battle Frontier. So I'm going to put it higher in the tier, but I'm not going to separate tiers. Like I did Plat S, Diamond and Pearl A, Gen 3 will all be localized within one tier. And if I'm playing this game objectively here, realistically, Gen 3 is B tier. I love Gen 3. I have rose-tinted glasses on. Nostalgia carries this game for me. I love a lot of the Pokemon in that game. But I do think there are so many quality of life things that they didn't figure out in Gen 3. There are so many fundamentally backwards systems in Gen 3. The special physical split being set to the move typing is brain dead. It is brain dead. It is actually one of the dumbest things they could have done. I think it's trash. I like the game a lot. They did introduce a lot. But I don't know. Am I making this tier list on who has paved the way the most? Or am I making the tier list based on which game holds up the most? And in my mind, if I'm making the game on who has changed the most, well then throw red and blue up in S tier. They made Pokemon. You know what I mean? You know what? I said I wouldn't do it, but that's a nostalgia play. Obviously, this is more realistic. All right. C tier. I think for C tier, I throw in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu. I think they're really fun to walk around. I think it's cute to relive the world. The gameplay leaves a lot to be desired. I do not find it fun to play. I find it fun to relive the game in a different vantage point. You know, it's a C tier as it gets. I don't think it's F or D. I think F tier is like too hatery. Like, I think this is clearly an experimental game that's trying to do something different. But I really didn't love it that much. D tier, I'm going to go Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield. Now, I actually love the Pokemon they added. I love the battling. I think the game and the story are pretty shit. It's like a 15-hour game, and the first 4 hours, you're in tutorial hell. The world feels infinitesimally small somehow. The visuals suck. The traveling around is mostly a pain. I really did not enjoy it. Mainly, I think that what would have made it way better is if they had one, more freedom in how you travel. I think the gym system being like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 makes it so that it's such a linear path. And then two, if they didn't have it with such a slow, the start is so boringly slow. It is so boring. It makes me wish that I played it on emulator so I could fast forward. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are pretty goated games. I think I'm going to throw... It's kind of a tough call. I think I could throw Heart Gold and Soul Silver into S tier. So I think Gold and Silver are not the most replayable of games. They don't hold up the best. They don't hold up terribly. They have a bit of charm to them. But... like, it's mostly just nostalgia. I almost want to make another tier just called nostalgia, because it feels wrong to put these games so low, but I do feel like it is a C tier. I'm kind of... So, I might actually even do this. And then throw Crystal above. If I'm keeping my method of splitting. I guess I could maybe do this. But I do think Heart Gold and Soul Silver to me belong in S tier. I would rather play them than Diamond. Okay, the mainline games I'm really struggling with. I think they're in their current state damn near unplayable for me. Like, I just would never ever replay red or blue. I would never do it. I would never do it. It would be miserable. No quality of life that I've come to expect in these games. I have to throw it F tier. I'll throw yellow in D tier because Pikachu follows you around and that's cute. But it is not fun to replay. But however, there is a lot of nostalgia. So controversial here. I think Red, Fire Red, Leaf Green are actually S tier games. This is very controversial because Emerald in Gen 3 is my most nostalgic generation. I do feel like Fire Red and Leaf Green, however, controversially, are S tier games because they let you live what created Pokemon with all the quality of life you come to expect in more modern Pokemon games. Now, the Emerald is making me drag them down. I feel like I can only actually put them in S tier if Emerald's also an S, and I don't want to do that, so this is where I end. I haven't played these ones. I'm pretty sure I would probably put Sun and Moon in, based off what I've seen, in F tier. I'd probably put Omega and Alpha Ruby in D tier. I don't know. I'm making it up. I haven't played them. That's my tier list.